Hello Noodles, it's Noodles Yummy. I know I talked shortly about my plans with content moving forward. However, this will be slightly more in depth about specifically my Sims content. EA, the company that currently owns the Sims franchise, will be selling out to a private Saudi Arabia company that is known for its conservative values. Obviously, I'm not here to make assumptions or guesses as to how this will or won't affect the Sims games. I'm here to explain my personal thoughts on this and how it will affect my content. My page will always be a safe place for all types of people. This absolutely includes women and people in the LGBTQ community. This deal will directly impact women and LGBTQ individuals. It is also likely to affect other groups of people based off of race and religion. Though my content is not religious, and I myself am Buddhist, I support all religions and cultures. The last thing I would ever want is to directly contribute to the harm of others. I already have a lot of The Sims content and games, so I will still be playing the game, but I will be using new ways to get the packs and new content in order to not give any money to EA. I will add a disclaimer in my Sims videos and advise people not to buy EA content. You will see it both in my description and the start of my Sims videos. I cannot force you to boycott a company. I can only suggest and advise that you do. I understand Sims has been a long-time franchise that has become a job to many and has shaped many Simmers' childhoods, as it did for my own. I will not judge anyone who continues to make Sims content or the people who continue playing the game. I just want people to understand the effects it can and will have on others when the deal goes through. Where the company stands on certain groups of people is public information, and it's very obvious if you know the people who are a part of the company. I cannot in any way support this type of company or what it stands for. I hope you can understand my choice and my thoughts on this. It has been difficult for me as I grew up with The Sims. It's always been a huge part of who I am and shaped me in many ways. It was the start of my gaming journey, besides Minecraft, of course. And again, my page will always be a safe place for women, for LGBTQ individuals, and for everyone. Now, I did write that. That was all like a scripted writing, but it was more because I wanted to make sure I said everything before I kind of spoke personally. Like, not personally, but before I kind of spoke freely. I will still be posting Sims content, obviously, but as I said, I do not support the company or the decision EA is making to sell to these kind of people. So I will be using certain ways to get the packs, and I suggest that you don't buy from EA either, again, because, I mean, I'm not super educated on companies making deals and selling for debt, but I feel like there's better ways that this could have been handled. And I also know that if you are buying from EA, especially if and when this deal goes through, because I do believe it will go through, because EA is in some massive debt, billions of dollars of debt. I do believe this deal will go through, and sadly, when it does, that money will be directly going to the Saudi Arabia company. Obviously, I'm not going to be against a company just because it's from a certain area. Like, yes, I don't really agree with many of the laws that are, in Saudi Arabia or those types of areas, because they're very harsh and cruel to women, and very, very cruel and harmful to LGBTQ individuals or anyone that isn't really anyone that isn't a cis straight male. I cannot support the things that this specific company stands for, because they are a very conservative group, or a very conservative company, and that is public information. And obviously, you can have your own opinions on political beliefs. I'm not here to tell you that you can't be this or you can't be this, you can't be conservative. My thing is, it's not a political belief when it starts taking away rights from people. Being racist, that's not a political belief. Believing trans people and gay people don't deserve the right to be who they are, that's not a political belief. You are just a bigot, and you are just a hateful person. Again, I'm not going to say that certain people can't watch my content, because of course everyone can watch my content. My page is a safe place, but I will not tolerate in any way hate towards a specific group of people because you feel hurt or upset that they make choices with their own body and their own autonomy. Yeah, I make my content for my own personal stuff. Like, I like sharing my games. I like sharing what I do. Before I started YouTube, which wasn't that long ago, I posted my Sims, like screenshots of my Sims on my social medias to my family. Like, it's always been a thing that I did. I just like sharing my content. Yeah, and my content isn't targeted towards one group of people. Though I myself am, in my own group of someone. Like, I'm neurodivergent, and, I'm a part of a lot of minorities. And so you could say my content is kind of targeted towards those people that have felt like me in the past. People who have dealt, with just prejudice. And as someone who has dealt with a lot of prejudice and discrimination based on who I am, I cannot stand in any way for people or for a company that believes that that is alright. I don't believe that The Sims will change in content. I feel as though if this company that gets The Sims wants to make money, which obviously most companies do, it will keep Sims the same. Maybe they'll try and add some more cultural items to the company or to the area that Saudi Arabia is in, but I don't think that they will change like the LGBTQ aspects of it. I don't think they'll change, many things of the game. And that's not my worry. That hasn't been my worry. My worry is more of I don't want to give any money or support this group in any way, regardless of what they do to The Sims. If they do end up changing the game, this is speaking a year or two down the line, if they do try and change the game, I will probably just go back to older Sims games, and if they do try and change those, I most likely will not be playing The Sims, as I do not want to play a game where people are not equal. I want to play a game that has equality in it. I want to play a game where I can be myself. My Sims can be themselves. And I feel like we are going to be relying heavily on modders if this does ever happen, which I don't think it will. I think modders will come and save the day. But there's still only a certain amount of things that they can do, and certain scriptings that they can overcome. But yeah, I don't want to go into too long of a rant. I just kind of wanted to put out a longer video about my stance and how it will be affecting my content, because my last post was more of why I haven't been posting and like a really short amount of like what it meant for this brand. I know I don't have a lot of followers. I don't have like a bunch of fans or anyone who's like, oh my god, Levi, what are you thinking about this? Nobody's thinking that. Most of my followers are people I know in real life. So, but if somebody does come upon my content in the future, they can see this video. and they'll know. But yeah, again, to put it out there 100%, this is a safe place for everyone. Unless you are a very hateful person and are hateful towards groups of people, this is a safe place for you. Whether you're a woman or a man, if you're part of the LGBTQ community, no matter what your race, religion, culture, ethnicity, no matter what it is, you are accepted here and you are safe here. Yeah, it will always be a safe place. Because I've always kind of wanted that on the internet. The internet could be a pretty toxic and hateful place for a lot of people. And so I've kind of, I've always wanted a YouTuber or like a place on the internet where it's been safe to express my opinions and it's been safe to be who I am without someone judging who I am or analyzing every little bit and being like, well, actually I don't think that you deserve this. I don't think people like you should have this, or like, why are you that way? No, here you don't have to deal with any of that. I'm never going to analyze someone and be like, why are you like that? Why are you gay? Why do you think that about women? No. If you're hateful towards someone, I'm just going to, ban you, block you, whatever. You're just not going to be able to see my content. That's it. But like, other than that, like, I don't know. I'm just a gaming channel. I'm just a gaming channel. I play games. I'm not like a podcaster who debates crazy shit just because it makes me money. I don't make any money. I do this because I like it. I like editing videos. I like learning. I like playing games and getting suggestions from people. But yeah, I just want to do, again, as I said, explain. If you have any questions about anything I've said, you can always just add in the comments. Please don't harass any Sims players or any Sims content creators. A lot of Sims content creators have quit their job to play Sims, and that is what they do. So I know a lot of creators did actually end up quitting the creator program, where they get the packs for free and they create for Sims. I'm not a part of that, so I didn't have to worry about that, obviously. But I'm not going to hate on anyone, and I don't want you to hate on anyone who doesn't make the same choice or choices that I make. I might judge a little bit if you are okay with EA doing this, because it directly affects certain people. So if you're okay with supporting that kind of group, I might judge you. But in general, I feel like where people go from here is a very complex topic, because for a lot of people, as I said, it's their lifeline, it's their career, their job, or it's just like something that really helps them. So, but yeah, I'm really thankful for the support that I do have, and I hope to get back soon. I love you guys. Bye.